Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Hagerstown. Glad you are here today. This is a place of great power. We are all children of God. We find great strength as a people of prayer. This is a house built on love. This is a place filled with peace. This is a sacred space. We join our voices in glorious harmony. This is a house built on love. Put aside your heavy burdens, be at peace and enter in. Hear the quiet voice of spirit, feel the steady strength of friends. Feeling as you're on a journey, and at long last you are home, where your memories surround you, and you'll never be alone. This is a place of great power. We are all children of God. We find great strength as a people of prayer. This is a house built on love. This is a place filled with peace. This is a sacred space. We join our voices in glorious harmony. This is a house built on love. Open up your heart to spirit, let your miracles occur. Never underestimate the power of the spoken word. And just we got it. This is the place. This is the place of great power. We are all children of God. We find great strength as the people of prayer. This is a house built on love. This is a place filled with peace. This is a sacred space. We join our voices in glorious harmony. This is a house built on love.
Sorry. I forgot I didn't have my mic on. There we go. All set now. Welcome to Unity of Hagerstown, my friends. We have a quote from Jesse Owens. Isn't that a great picture of him? We all have dreams. In order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline, and effort. And maybe sometimes it doesn't. I'm just saying, just throw it out that it could be easy. You never know. At any rate, I'm so glad that you're here today joining us on this kind of cold, rainy day. And for those joining us virtually, thank you so much. You're a part of this community even when you're not here. I invite you to join me in our opening prayer. Let's take a moment. And move into our heart space, I invite you to allow my voice to speak for us. And if you need to translate it or edit it, please do in your mind's eye. As I calm my thoughts, as I relax my body, I let go of anything that blocks me from the power and presence of God within. I negate any fear, any worry, and establish myself in the foundation of my spiritual path. God is present everywhere. God is present everywhere, moving through me, as me, for me. I give thanks for this opportunity to come together, to celebrate, to see friends and make new ones. I give thanks for this opportunity to sing and to smile and to grow. And so it is. Amen. So if you will join me in our mission statement, Together, Unity of Hagerstown, a welcoming community, embraces spiritual awakening through affirmative prayer and meditation, creating a positive path of abundant living for all. And now we'll have the reading of the Daily Word with Faith Storms. Now, the Daily Word, for those of you who may not be familiar with it, is a daily inspirational reading that you can get in your inbox or a hard copy. Thank you.
Good morning. Today, the theme is world peace. The peace I wish to see in the world begins in my own heart. To call upon the peace within me and bring it into the world, I use my spiritual gift of love to feel in harmony with all others. I use my power of imagination to envision the world filled with peace. And through my gift of will, I choose peaceful responses no matter the circumstance. I envision God's healing, loving power enfolding the earth and all its people. As I claim this spiritual vision, my heart is lifted, and it's easier for me to perpetuate peace. The notion that others are holding the same vision of a peaceful world encourages and comforts me. I pray our shared goal of peace on earth touches every heart and mind in every corner of the globe. And the scripture today is Isaiah 26:3. Those of steadfast mind you keep in peace because they trust in you. And our affirmation, I hold a vision of a peaceful world. Just take a moment and see that. And again, I hold a vision of a peaceful world.
Thank you, Faith. We have an opportunity now to greet one another, and just as a refresher, this is not the time to give your life story, although we want to hear that too at some point. But this is just time to say hello, how are you, my name is, if you want to. Also know, if you're not, if this is your first time visiting us, this is a group of huggers. So if you do not want to hug, please put your hand out, give us a namaste, just let your wishes, your preferences be known. So let's greet each other. We'll come back with them when the music starts. And I want to say hello to our Facebook and YouTube friends. Thank you so much for being here with us today. You know, I don't blame you for not coming out in this rainy, cold weather. However, you know, through the modern technology of the internet, we can be together anyway. There is no space nor distance in spirit, right? We are all one. Thank you for being here. Oh, and if you want to, I will say that if you would like to support this community, then I invite you to go to Zephy or go to our our website, unityhagerstown.org. You can also check out all the wonderful events there. We hope to see you soon. Bye.
I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. All my fears slip away, slip away. All fears slip from my heart. All my fears slip away, slip away, slip away from my heart. All my fears slip away, slip away. All fears slip from my heart. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. All my fears slip away, slip away. All fears slip from my heart. All my fears slip away, slip away. All fears slip from my heart. All my shackles are loosened. All my shackles are loose. All my shackles are loosened. All my shackles are loose. All my shackles are loosened. All my shackles are loose. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. One more time. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within.
Yeah, please be seated. Man, yeah, you got to tell us when these really danceable songs come on, so we prepare us. Or maybe not, because we're just going to get up and do what we want. Okay, so we are continuing on with our series based on the book by Reverend Linda Martella Whitsett. It's entitled Divine Audacity, Dare to Be the Light of the World. And this book gives us tools in which we can let our light shine even brighter than what we normally do through the 12 powers that are inherent within each of us. These, you can call them gifts from God if you want to, but these abilities are there for us to cultivate, to activate, and to bring into our daily life on a spiritual level. Because on a human level, we're using those gifts already. For instance, the power of love, right? We use that gift already. We love people. The spiritual level, that love is expanded and deepened. So you can see how that might work. Now, one thing I do want to remind us of, and I've been doing this every week with this series, is that God is principle, not personality. In other words, God is not created after our own image. God does not have a gender. God is the principle of love everywhere present. God is the principle of wisdom everywhere present, which means, good news for us, that principle of love and wisdom and everything else is within us. And that's what we're talking about activating more fully, more deeply in our lives. Martella Whitsett tells us, whenever I shift attention from my personal self toward the infinite self that is God, which is the real self, I become what God is. So, okay, I just realized my notes were out of order. And I am a little note dependent, so bear with me for a second. And of course, this is the one time I didn't number all the pages, so we'll get it. Okay, there we go. Back to the talk. Okay, so each of these powers has a physical location within our bodies, much like the main chakras, the 7 chakras you may be familiar with, that we can use to focus our meditation upon. They also have a color assigned to them, which we can also use in meditation to activate this power more fully. And Charles Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, assigned a disciple to represent each of these powers as well. And if that's helpful, then it's kind of fun to look in some of the Christian Testament stories and see what the powers are doing with Jesus. So that would be a metaphysical interpretation. So today we're going to look at the power of wisdom and, can anybody guess from the last song, the power of strength. Strength, yes. Yeah. But first I want to tell you a story. In a convent in Ireland, the 98-year-old Mother Superior was dying. The nuns gathered around her, trying to make sure her last moments were comfortable. They tried giving her some warm milk to drink, but she refused it. One of the nuns took the glass of warm milk back to the kitchen and then remembered there was a bottle of Irish whiskey that someone had given them. And she thought, let's pour some in the milk. And so she poured a generous amount and took it back to the Mother Superior. They held the glass up to her lips, and she took a sip. And then a little more, And before you knew it, she had drunk the whole thing to the very last drop. Her eyes brightened up a little bit, and the nuns thought, this is the time that we can ask for words of wisdom before she dies. Please give us your wisdom, Mother. And she raised herself up on one elbow, and they all leaned in, eager to hear what she would say. She looked each in the eye deeply, and she said, don't ever sell that cow. I love that joke so much. Anyway, okay, so words of wisdom. Okay, another source of words for wisdom is Proverbs, 2nd chapter. For wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. This is talking about being along the spiritual path. We do become more wise as we grow, not only emotionally, but spiritually as well, as we become aware of who we are. So this power of wisdom is located in the stomach. If you think of, your gut feeling, yeah, okay. And it is, it shows up in 3 different ways. Our decision-making ability, and that's through evaluation, also called right judgment, and we'll get into that word judgment in a second, and our spiritual discernment and intuition. So we're going to look at all 3 of those aspects fairly briefly, because we're going to move on to the power of strength as well. So we use that decision-making ability every day. We use judgment every day. We judge whether or not to wear a coat out, whether or not we should even go out if it's snowing. Maybe we want to stay home. We judge, whether if our body needs rest, well, maybe we should take a nap, right? So it is based on our life's experience, and this is called applied knowledge. Martella Whitsett tells us we all have an innate capacity to judge rightly. It is often referred to as our conscious. Think Disney's Jiminy Cricket, who exhorts Pinocchio, always let your conscience be your guide. Can't you just picture him on your shoulder, right? So this right judgment is not to be confused with being judgmental, which has a whole different meaning, right? Which is what we may think of when we think of judgment. This is using our ability to make wise choices. You can think of it as the blindfolded figure of justice holding up the scales, if you want to, because we're not really necessarily looking at the outer appearances, but going by what we've experienced prior, what's going on within. And that actually leads us to that second aspect of wisdom, which is spiritual discernment. Discernment is the ability not to, I can't see with these glasses on, I can't see with them off. Here, that's better. Not to rely upon facts, but upon principles in decision-making. In spiritual practice, discernment is exercised through a process that includes questioning, meditating, and envisioning, while suspending judgment about any divine ideas generated. So, let's look at a couple examples of discernment. When I was invited to start a Unity community here in Washington County. Many of you know this story because I flat out said no. But what I said was I would pray about it. I would discern if it was mine to do, and I did. And I remember going along the AT to Annapolis Rock and sitting there many times and just trying to figure out, becoming quiet, trying to figure out what is mine to do. And I went back to principle because I did not feel adequate to start anything, much less a spiritual community. But I went back to principle, recognizing God is present everywhere, so therefore is within me, recognizing that I have the wisdom, understanding, love, and everything else I need in order to do this. So that's what we're talking about with discernment, based on principle. We can certainly discern without principle. That would be in our human expression. But for spiritual discernment, we go back to God. We go back to our foundation, or one of the powers that we're talking about, because they are all principles as well. So another example of discernment and right judgment is with the Board of Trustees, because every year they look at the prior year's expenses and income, and then they discern what the budget might look like in the upcoming year. So they use experience and discernment as well. So there you go, a couple examples with that. That knowing that principle of prosperity is within us, abundance is within, that we are in the driver's seat, and as to how this manifests. The board continually has invited this community to keep growing, keep stretching, keep giving. And I want to say something, because I love this community so much, that this community in 17 years, going on 18 years, has only failed to meet the projected income one time, which is remarkable. I mean, it really is. So, okay, I just had to brag on y'all for a bit. Okay, so we use this ability to discern most frequently probably to ask the question, what is mine to do, right? We go to our heart space, ask that question, and then we may feel or sense an answer, or we may not, because sometimes it takes a while to have that answer revealed to us. Rainer Maria Rilke, you probably are familiar with that Austrian poet, traveled widely during his life, living in Russia, Egypt, Spain, France, Italy, Germany, and Switzerland. Isn't that cool? I just love that. But perhaps one of his better-known writings would be Letters to a Young Poet. And I just want to read a section which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, but it kind of addresses that question of discernment without having a clarity yet. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves, like locked rooms and like books that are now written in a very foreign tongue. Do not now seek the answers which cannot be given you, because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answer. So be patient with the discernment process. Sometimes it just unfolds gradually. And sometimes we may need to learn more about spiritual principle in order for it to unfold as well. Sometimes we may really need to embody what we know, that the presence of God is here now. So the third aspect of wisdom is intuition. And I know many of you are very intuitive. You get that aha, right? That insight, that sudden insight. Or maybe it's an uh-oh. I get that sometimes when I'm traveling along the highway. It's like, oh, don't go down that way. And I'm always glad I did, even if I didn't see anything, but I always feel like that intuition is guiding me correctly, to avoid an accident or to avoid something. But we have this power moment by moment. We can access it for internal guidance. Whitsitt tells us, as we practice right judgment or evaluation and discernment, we activate and become familiar with the methods by which our infinite self takes charge to express widely. In other words, as we practice the other two aspects of wisdom, we get more familiar with how that intuition comes into our life, what it feels like in our body. Whenever we are following this inner guidance, a lot of people ask, how do I know if it's coming from spirit? How do I know if it's coming from my own ego or personality? There are a couple questions that we can ask ourselves. Is it for my higher good? Is it for the greater good of all? Does it bring me peace? Now, it may be that you're being led to do something pretty exciting, but there should be peace centered around the answer. So I want to have us take a time of reflection on wisdom before we move on to strength. So this is kind of not really a meditation, but I guess you could call it that, but just a time of reflection. So if you want to close your eyes in order to focus more, that would be great, or gaze softly on the ground. And these are bits and pieces from different daily words through the year that I kind of came up with. And just relax the body again. When we relax the body, we're able to focus a little bit more fully. I seek to know the magnificence of the divine within me. My inner guidance may lead me into unexpected territory. My little self may feel that I'm not getting anywhere, but the accumulated experiences, combined with active faith in spiritual principles and following that light that illuminates my path, leads me just to where I need to be, to do what I need to do in order to have a greater realization of who I am. I am a channel through which God's wisdom and inspiration comes forth. I open my heart and let wisdom and inspiration flow through me. There's a constant flow of light within me that brings understanding and wisdom, imparts a feeling of security, and enables me to step forth in faith and inspiration. I give freely, and I am truly the channel of love that I desire to be. I reach out through prayer and pray for each and every person who is asking for God's wisdom and inspiration. When loved ones need guidance, I know that inspiration and wisdom are flowing in and through them. Each is a channel through which God's wisdom flows, each the recipient of God's guidance and inspiration. And I invite you to take a moment and see all the names that we wrote last week on the hearts on the trees as these recipients of God's guidance and inspiration. I am open and receptive, and let the inspiration I desire flow freely in me, through me, and for me. And so it is. Okay. So that's one way that we would activate the power of wisdom, is just by, that's like a little meditation or affirmative prayer for it, okay? Okay, so we're going to move on to the power of strength. And strength is located in the small of the back. It keeps us upright, if you will. And Martella Whitsett tells us spiritual strength is our capacity to stand undaunted in the midst of shifting circumstances, to act courageously, and to stay the course. In other words, strength is our ability, it's our ability to be stable, to be courageous, and to persevere. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, tells us all strength originates in spirit, and the thought and the word spiritually expressed bring the manifestation of strength. They actually bring the manifestation of what you're speaking on. The thought and the word. That sounds like prayer to me, right? It's also the embodiment of who you are. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh. So as we align with that Christ consciousness within, as we align with our higher self, our true self, our real self, we are able to access these gifts. So, for instance, if we think health and speak words of health, we manifest a greater degree of health. This is affirmative prayer, affirming the truth of our being, that we are whole. We are perfect and whole in divine mind. And we can know through these times of prayer that, as Exodus says, the Lord, our I am, is my strength. The Lord is our I am, our Christ consciousness. That is our strength. We're also told in the Hebrew Testament, in Isaiah, that those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. waiting in stillness and in quiet. Not waiting for God to appear, but waiting for all the blocks that we may be holding to who we are to fall, to dissolve. We know prayer is not to change God's mind, but rather to change our mind. God's principle is unchanging. So we change our thoughts from seeing lack or dis-ease or separation back to principle, seeing oneness, wholeness, abundance. We're not praying to change the outer, but to change our thoughts. We're not praying for things, but so that we might see it right instead of setting it right. Okay, I got a little sidetracked there. Okay, so anyway, the point is that prayer, when we pray for a change of our thoughts, we can call on these powers to help us do that too. We can see that we do have the strength of God flowing through us. So because prayer lifts our consciousness away from what's ever going on the outer to seeing God, seeing good before us instead. As we align with our spiritual nature, we are able to stand firm. We are able to be stable in the midst of life storms because we remember who we are. We are this individual expression of God. To be stable is to be rooted in or anchored to a firm foundation. The stabilizing power of strength is our capacity to anchor ourselves securely in the truth of our unlimited source of calm, safety, and balance. We can stand strong during times of change. I don't know about you, but I love that quote because it brings me hope in today's world. In today's energy, reactive energy, I think it's more important than ever to be stable, to stand strong, to stand on principle, the principle that God is everywhere, the principle that we are love, the principle that we are one. So I wanted to share another story, and this, I think, exemplifies two of the aspects of strength, both courage and perseverance. And this is a true story. Only one joke per Sunday. So, Brendan Murray, living on the island of Tasmania, had it rough growing up. His mother was part of the stolen generation, the Aborigines who were taken from their homes to be raised elsewhere, and she struggled with mental health issues. They moved around constantly so that he never really learned how to read or write. And when he found himself unable to complete a job application at the age of 26, he decided that it was time that he did something about it. So he enrolled in a literacy course, even though it was hard because he was full of shame. He was reading on the level of a 10-year-old. So he was full of shame and self-loathing, but he continued on with it. He went on to enroll in a bachelor's degree program and then on to a doctorate's program. I think that the courage and perseverance that he showed through doing this really exemplifies this power of strength. So when we follow that intuition within us of what, or discern what is ours to do, we can know that we have the strength to do it. Those two powers work very nicely together, and along with the others as well. Isaiah 30:15, I'm not sure why I'm getting all these Hebrew Testament quotes, but they're just coming, so let's go with it. Isaiah 30 says, "In returning in rest you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength." So we return to our right mind, right-mindedness, as the Course in Miracles would say. No longer bound up in delusions, no longer in the trance world. We come back to remembering who we are, in resting in quietness, in silence, in going to that inner chamber, we find strength. In prayer, we grow our trust. And between the prayer and the inner silence, that's when that strength is activated. As we navigate life's passages, we can gain strength in knowing that we are not alone. Wherever we are, God is. It's inseparable, never failing, and is the source within for all of our needs. A Course in Miracles equates strength with gentleness. So I'm going to invite us to go within and be gentle in our thoughts as we open to the power of strength. So as you adjust your position, if you need to, this will be about an 8 or 9 or maybe 10-minute meditation. And just do a body scan. If there's any area on the body that is feeling a little tense, I invite you to breathe into it. And by that I mean take a breath while you're focusing on that area. And when you exhale, allow it to relax. Going from toes to head. Stopping as you need to relax more fully. And then focusing on the power of strength, which is the small of your back. Affirm silently with me, the mighty Spirit of God within infuses my entire being with infinite, inexhaustible strength. The mighty Spirit of God within infuses my entire being with infinite, inexhaustible strength. God within is my strength. Through Spirit within me, I can do all things well. God is my mental strength, my emotional strength, my physical strength. God is my strength of character. No negative condition in life is stronger than Spirit within. The moment that I turn my attention and faith to Spirit, that moment I receive all the strength I need to accomplish whatever is before me. The strength to raise my thoughts, the strength to go forward through every valley of the shadow with courage, the strength over those false ideas of separation, of inadequacy. The mighty Spirit of God within me infuses my entire being with infinite, inexhaustible strength. And as we move into a period of silence, I invite you to continue to picture that infusion of strength going through every aspect of your being, not just physical, but mental, emotional, spiritual. The strength of God within you in the silence. The mighty Spirit of God within me infuses my entire being with infinite, inexhaustible strength. And so it is. And as we continue to rest in this power of strength, I invite Brent and Patty to share the next song.
God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God in me, God in me.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. Great. So we have our prosperity affirmation. So if you join me in this, stating it aloud, we know it is so. Together, this ministry is bountifully supplied in faithful, enthusiastic, and generous financial support. The true prosperity of this ministry is the growing awareness of spirit, manifesting in the steady growth of love, faith, and spiritual power among our members and friends. We are prosperous and we are grateful. And we'll have another song as the offering is being taken.
I'm thankful for the morning that brings me a brand new day. I'm thankful for all the good that always comes my way. I'm thankful for all I am and all that I can do. Oh, sweet Spirit, I can only thank you. I have gratitude have so much gratitude. I count my blessings every single day. I have gratitude. I have so much gratitude. There is only one thing left for me to say. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. I'm thankful for the little light that shines inside of me. I'm thankful I can share it with everyone I see. I'm thankful for the joy and love, all I know is true. Oh, sweet Spirit, I can only thank you. I have gratitude. I have so much gratitude. I count my blessings every single day. I have gratitude. I have so much gratitude. There is only one thing left for me to say. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. I thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Brett and Patty. Okay, so we do have a few announcements. Today, after the service, the Women of Unity are meeting, and Amy's got a wonderful program plan, and everybody's welcome to come to that. And that will be probably about 12:15, 12:30, something like that. And then Monday evening, traditional yoga at 6 p.m. Divine Audacity, that book study is continuing. When we're open to have more people come join us if you're interested, there should be a flyer in the back. And then Men of Unity are meeting on Thursday at 6 p.m. And game night. Friday night. Please register if you're planning on coming so we can ensure we have enough food, because dinner, a vegetarian meal is included with that for a love offering of $15 or more or less. You know, I mean, it's really what your heart wants to give. No, $15. No. Monday, the first Monday of every month is our sound bath. This is a delightful time of relaxation and renewing that Sabrina gives us. And next, on the 9th, the second Sunday in March, another one of my favorite things, chili cook-off and pie bake-off. Yes, and there are prizes for the winners. So it's free to enter, but we are asking, because this is a fundraiser, we are asking for a $10 donation if you stay and eat. It's not really fair because you smell the chili all throughout the service. But we have vegetarian chili, we have white chili, we have all kinds of chili that's usually brought in. So I invite you to, pull out your favorite chili recipe and join us. Or pie. This started as a pie bake-off, but we decided we needed something besides just pie to eat. Because of March 14th, right? 3.14, pie bake-off. Yeah, that's how it started. Yeah. So anyway, our next book discussion is going to start in March, the second Wednesday of March, I believe, and Meeting Jesus Again for the First Time. This looks at the historical Jesus as well as kind of allows us to explore what does Jesus mean to our spiritual path today. So if you want to join us, this is on Zoom, and there are flyers in the back as well. The book is available everywhere. It's been out for quite a bit, so you should have no trouble finding it. And then, of course, the chairs today after the service, leaving a few out for the women. Yeah, we can do that. And then one other thing, that's the sign-up sheet is going around. This is Creating the Beloved Community. I really hope that everybody signs up for this. If you're in the least interested, this is a free program that Unity is covering the cost for because we believe in it so much. The board we just wanted to do this for you. And it's really to take this community up to the next level. There is a book involved. You can see a picture of it by Jim Lockhart that you would have to purchase. It is a 10-month commitment, but only 1 day a month in which we gather together on Zoom for 2 hours. So prior to taking this, you would also be required to take a spiral dynamics workshop if you are not familiar with spiral dynamics, which is a theory of consciousness, which even if you don't take this, you may want to take this workshop because it helps me understand today's world better, much better, because the different ways of looking at the world. Okay, so there's a sign-up sheet going around, there's flyers for pretty much everything in the back, and I think that's it for our announcements. And so we say goodbye to our Facebook friends. We love you, we bless you, we see the light that you are. Thank you for being part of this community. Is that the thumbs?